Okay, good morning everyone. Thank you for coming. So welcome to the Nutrition and Supplements Oil Lab. So we'll just hopefully keep you for about half an hour, just giving you lots of tips really to support your well-being during this time. So nutrition obviously is the foundation for your health. So it really allows your body to function optimally. What you put into your body really matters in the way that your body is supported. You know, how much energy you have, increased clarity. It's supporting your cardiovascular health and proper inflammatory responses. So it's just a little graphic sort of really showing you, obviously, what you're putting into your body is the foundation for how you are basically performing as a human being. So why take supplements? So throughout this morning, we're just going to be looking at how supplements work in the body and what's the difference between a good supplement and a bad supplement, and sort of watch outs basically of how you can sort of what you can be taking and what makes a good supplement versus a bad supplement, and how it can be absorbed into the body, so that you know where you spend your money and what you're getting for your money is important, and knowing what makes a good supplement versus a bad one. So moving over, I just want to introduce my little co-presenter this morning.
Hello, I'm Bernie, for those of you who don't know me. I'm a friend and older neighbour of Gemma's, and I'm a nutritional therapist, and I work with people who have problems in their digestive system or ongoing symptoms in the gut, and I help them improve how they feel and help them to get more enjoyment from their lives. I qualified from the College of Naturopathic Medicine 2 years ago, and I'm seeing clients over Zoom or face-to-face, and I'm locally based.
Okay. I just want to highlight that you can ask questions at any point, by the way. So please sort of, if you are muted and you have questions, then just unmute yourself, and this needs to be like a conversation as well as a presentation. So if you have any questions along the way, please don't hesitate to or there is a chat button if you wanted to put something into the chat, you can do that too. Okay, so we were chatting about what sort of makes a good supplement versus a bad supplement. So I'm just going to hand back to Bernie, who will talk about the watch outs that we should kind of be looking into. And there we go.
Yeah, so we all tend to, because of the nature of the way food is produced these days, and our soils have been depleted over the last 50 odd years, we're not getting as much nutrients in our food these days, and there's lots of air pollution. We've got a lot of stress in our bodies, so we need to bridge the gap basically between what food does give us, because we do get a lot of nutrients obviously from a whole food diet, but not enough in order to make sure you're living optimally. So it's a good idea at certain times of your life to take supplements. So for example, women who are going into menopause may need extra help to balance the estrogen progesterone fluctuations. A vegan or a vegetarian might need more B12, because B12 is found in a lot of meat and animal-based foods. Or most of us, it's highly likely that at the end of winter and into spring we'll need vitamin D supplements, because the sun is so low and we're not getting enough exposure, and you've used up all your reserves by then. So there's certain times of your life when you do need to take, your body just needs extra help. And if you're stressed out and you're eating a poor diet and you're not sleeping very well, it's good to take something to give you an extra boost. However, supplements don't replace eating real foods, because a food has the correct balance of protein, fats, vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, all in the right relationship. So it's never a replacement, and they can be quite filling, but they should always be taken in conjunction with a whole food diet. And that's one thing to always remember. You get more bang for your buck from foods, but the supplement will help you. Hi, Hayley. And also, you need to think about the supplements that you might think you need. It's always best to check first and work out when the best time time to take them is. When I work with clients, I don't just do spot checks of what nutrients. So if you're getting a lot of headaches or you're suffering from anxiety, you might need some more B vitamins because they're really good for the nervous system. But rather than just buying a B complex from Holland and Barrett, I always advise people to look at the whole picture, so it's across all your body systems. So when I see a client, we do a really thorough investigation into lots of questions about all your systems going right back to when you were born. So it's really working around your whole body, all of it together in one go, rather than just looking at one particular nutrient. But when you do need a supplement, always make sure you ask when you're meant to take it. Most of them you take with food. Some of them you take away from food though, like probiotics. You might need to take them depending on which type it is. You might need to take iron with vitamin C to help its absorbency. So there's little things like that are always needed. You always need to remember. But it's always best to check first. And if you're on medication as well, always check with a practitioner about what medication you're on, because that can have effects on the effectiveness of the supplement as well. So when you are looking at supplements, there's so much information out there. It's very overwhelming when you go in online or in Holland and Barrett. There's so many brands, and I think you need to be careful and wise about what you're choosing, because if you're just choosing over the counter Holland and Barrett cheap and cheerful vitamin C, they often contain a lot of cheap ingredients that are just made to help them look nice or help them taste better and last longer. So they contain fillers, they contain bulking agents, flavorings, and nasty things like titanium dioxide and other chemicals that just add extra burden to your liver. So avoid them, look out for them. If there's a massive list of ingredients and it's lots of chemicals, I'd look out for them at the top first. It's always the most ingredient is always listed first. So if you can see that there's glucose as well is another thing they put in, or sugar, anything syrupy, they put them in a lot of children's supplements to make them taste nice. Always look out for them as well, because I mean, yeah, you do need some in there to help the children take them or to make them taste nice, but ideally not too many. And another really good thing about the doTERRA supplements that Gemma's going to talk about is that they contain a whole food source. So the microplex is like a multi, and that's got real powdered down kale, kelp, dandelion and cabbage. So that's something really good to look for. And there are other brands like that. They are expensive, but it's like when you're buying a car, do you want to buy a cheap car that might not last you all the way up and down the motorways, or do you want something that's going to give you longevity and a good quality product? It's like anything, and you pay for what you get.
All right. So I'm just going to talk about the supplement line that doTERRA do as your beautiful doTERRA customers, and this is known as excuse me, lifelong vitality. So it comes, you can buy each one individually, but you can also get it in a set because it's designed to take as a program, and you literally take each supplement together. So I take a half course every day, which means I take one of each tablet with my breakfast and with my evening meal. So, but you can take sort of double the amount depending on where you are and where in your own sort of well-being and what extra support you're needed. But as Bernie said, they're really designed to, fill in the gaps that you're sort of missing through your overall well-being in the food that you eat. Things may be slightly more depleted than we would like, even if we're having that healthy organic fruit and vegetables. They're not necessarily as nutritious as they were maybe when we were growing up, and eating a carrot might not quite be packed full of minerals. So the first one that I'm going to talk to you about is something called alpha CRS, and the CRS stands for Cellular Renewal System. And this is really about taking the powerful polyphenols that protect cells from free radicals that can damage our cellular DNA, our mitochondria, which is basically where we get our energy from, that's our powerhouse, and other critical cell structures. So this pretty much what's in this alpha CRS is the polyphenols, and just really protecting cellular renewal, that every time your cell renews, that it's renewing at its optimum level for basically giving us healthy cells. Do you want to say anything more on polyphenols? Or
I mean, yeah, they're in lots of foods. They're great at protecting you, and a good antioxidant, as it says on the tin. And free radicals are really good. So free radicals, are you going to talk about them?
No, you
So
can.
free radicals are all the things that float around. You get a lot of free radicals in your body from air pollution, so going down the North Circular or the South Circular. So when we're going to school, we're ingesting, unfortunately, diesel fumes, and in the food that we eat, there are, free radicals exist. So that these antioxidants go along, mop them all up, and kind of neutralize that and prevent them from doing damage in the rest of your body. So that's why it's always good to have antioxidant support.
These are some of the ingredients that are in the alpha CRS. I think turmeric was something that we can definitely be having in our diet anyway. I was chatting to Bernie about this in the week. So if you can get, I mean, these are all present in the supplement, but also just to be mindful of trying to get the original source of the food into your diet too. So, having turmeric and having that raw is a really good thing to support your well-being.
Yeah, it's great. Turmeric is a massive Trojan war horse in my eyes, because it's antioxidant, it's anti-inflammatory. So if you're ever getting sick, it's good to have that to just bung it if you bung it in a juice or a smoothie. It does taste quite bitter, and it turns everything yellow if you're putting it into a curry or a stew. So just take half a teaspoon, but it's really, really good, and mix it with black pepper, because that helps increase its absorbency. And the good thing from turmeric is curcumin, that's the active ingredient. And then quercetin is another one that comes from that Japanese pagoda tree, and that's really good in springtime, when you're getting allergies and hay fever and histamine reactions. That's brilliant. It's another anti-inflammatory. It just takes away all the heat out of the histamine that's generated from the pollen, and that's a really good. That's in apples, and you can take supplement form as well if you need a stronger dose. And boswellic acids are from the Boswellia serrata. That's the one at the bottom. That's a really good anti-inflammatory, and it lowers inflammation, and it's good. It's been found to be really good with autoimmune diseases, so like asthma, Crohn's disease, or rheumatoid arthritis. So they're all really good whole food sources as well.
I have a question. So is it always a good thing to be adding black pepper to your food before you eat it? Is that actually serving to absorb nutrients from any meal that you would be making, or is there any?
Well, it does definitely with curcumin. I'm not sure. I mean, pepper is it's a spice, and I know that lots of spices are really good, and it generates heat, and heat will kind of heat your body up to kickstart your metabolism.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and it adds flavour. Pepper's really good for flavour, so it's got to be about enjoying.
Well, I quite often just have always cracked pepper on my food, but I didn't realise, I was doing it from a flavour point of view rather than additionally, it's helping my body absorb the nutrients that I'm eating. Okay, so the next supplement is the XEO Omegas, and this is all about the fatty acids. So providing ultra pure essential fatty acids and other fat-soluble nutrients that help support heart and circulatory health, brain health, and optimize the immune function. So in this particular supplement, you're also getting pure essential oils, because I'm a huge advocate for that. And the essential oils present in this supplement are clove, frankincense, thyme, cumin, wild orange, peppermint, ginger, caraway, and German chamomile. So the latter ones are really there to serve as a kind of soother for your tummy, a tummy tamer, as we talk about. So they do a vegan and a non-vegan version in these supplements. I'm just going to pause there and I'll show you that on the next slide because you wanted to talk about the benefits for the health with our omega-3 supporting our immune system.
Yeah, so it's really important to be aware of omega-3s and to make sure you're getting enough in your diet because they are anti-inflammatory. So in the 1980s, we were all brainwashed with low-fat diet, everything skimmed and skinny, milk, cheese, everything. So we got away from butter and we replaced it with margarines and all those processed fats. And what happens when you have a processed fat is in your body, it turns into what's called arachidonic acid, and that's inflammatory. Whereas if you take omega-3, that turns into EPA and DHA, which are anti-inflammatory, and they're what you need, as Gemma just said, for brain health, to help general cellular function and overall immune health. So you need to make sure you're striking the balance between less omega-6 and 9 and more omega-3. So it's constantly making sure that you're in balance with that. And you can do that through eating smash fish twice a week, smash standing for salmon, mackerel, anchovies, sardines or herring. Or if you're a vegetarian or vegan, you can have hemp seeds or walnuts or flaxseed, and flaxseed oil is a really good, you can just use it on salad dressings. Yeah, so it's really important to make sure you're getting them in every week or every day if you can.
I had a laugh with Bernie in the week because I was like, smash. When I was growing up, smash was in the form of
yeah,
potato. Not that I ever had. Maybe like in school dinners used to be made of it. Slightly different.
I was smiling because there was a guy in the house share. All he used to eat was smash, and then smash the potato and bean.
Exactly. So slightly different for this present.
Yeah, that's not to be recommended, clearly.
Yeah.
All right.
So just look out for all the oils that you've got at home and the oils that you cook with. When you heat an oil, you change the chemical properties of it to make it, you change the chemical properties of it and often damage it. So if you've got any of those oils, sunflower oil, soybean, rapeseed oil, hydrogenated oils, trans fats, they're all inflammatory. So swap them and replace them with olive oil, flaxseed oil, or any of the nut oils. And try not to heat them and use them in cooking. If you want to cook, use coconut oil because that's got a higher melting point. And yeah, go for your oily fish twice a week for the meat eaters and fish eaters.
Do you have any other recommendation for an alternative to coconut oil? Because I don't mind cooking with it, but I know some people don't like the taste for some reason. So is there another oil that you'd also recommend?
Well, you can actually buy odorless coconut oil.
Oh, okay.
So that doesn't taste or smell of anything. And you only need a little bit. You don't need, loads and loads of it.
Yes, it melts down quite well. Yeah. Okay. All right, so yeah, just as I've mentioned earlier about there being a vegan and a non-vegan version. So the vegan version has flaxseed oil, inchi seed oil, borage seed, cranberry, pomegranate, pumpkin, and grapeseed oil. Whereas the sort of non-vegan version actually has a sort of a byproduct from microalgae. So it's a really good antioxidant. So those are just the variables. So if you came to purchase, just be aware that you can have a vegan or a non-vegan version. All right, and the final sort of set pot of vitamins that you can purchase as part of the set is the Microplex DMZ, which is vitamins and minerals. So this is a balanced formula of essential vitamins and bioavailable minerals carefully formulated to provide optimal levels of key micronutrients that support energy and the immune systems. So the way that it's kind of designed is that it's processed into a supplement that when you can take into your body, that your body recognizes it as a whole food and treats it that way, so it's actually absorbed into your system. Because I think a lot of the other supplements on the market are not necessarily recognized as food in your body, and therefore it doesn't ever do anything. You think you're taking a supplement and it's just coming out the other end and you're not getting any benefit. So that's just worth bearing in mind about the key ingredients in this supplement and how well it's been made so that your body actually absorbs what is meant to be absorbed. So in it are whole food enzymes, which you talked about a little bit earlier. It's in the powdered form of kale, dandelion, broccoli, cabbage and spinach. So really good things that we want to be giving our body to support it. And there are 8 different enzymes to aid the absorption of these important ingredients. There's also vitamin A, C and E, and an energy complex of B vitamins and natural vitamin D3. So really, your health and well-being starts in your gut. I'm sure you probably know that, but just to kind of reinforce how the gut plays a vital role in your overall health. It's basically, you know, weight and your immune function and how your brain functions. So what damages our gut health? Unhealthy diet, antibiotic use. I don't know if you want to talk any more around what that does really.
Yeah.
In taking antibiotics, as I know it's quite a common thing for everyone at one point in their life to be on these medications. So
yeah, so when you take antibiotics, they basically destroy they destroy the bacteria that of the infection that they're fighting, but they also destroy all the everything else with it. You probably know that already. So and if you're taking them repeatedly, time on time again, your gut can recover and it will try to restore those colonies that have been destroyed. But if you take them repeatedly, it's hard for them to get back up and running again. So it can often lead to symptoms further down the track, like problems with your digestion that, you know, it might have happened a few years ago or several years ago, or yeah, so they can be quite damaging. So it's good to try and get your gut back up and healthy again, and give it the right ingredients it needs to get those bacteria flourishing.
So to support our gut health, we talk about probiotics, and then I got into a conversation with Bernie as we were doing our prep for that, and she was telling me about it's brilliant to take a probiotic, but you really should be taking prebiotic rich foods to enable the probiotics to perform optimally. So
to grow,
yeah. So go ahead, you can talk a little bit more about that.
So yeah, so your probiotics, so prebiotics and probiotics are like a husband and wife relationship. So one needs the other in order to grow. So the prebiotics are found in Jerusalem artichokes, all these foods here, carrots, not carrots, I'm saying Jerusalem artichokes, the
sweet potatoes.
Onions, sweet potatoes and yams and things like that. And the probiotic foods, which are on the next slide, feed off the prebiotics in order to help them grow. So yogurt, kefir, miso, kimchi, kombucha, fermented vegetables, anything like that. So if you make sure you're having a balance of those in your meals every day, that'd be brilliant. And you can just have a little bit of fermented vegetables on your, on the side, on your dinner plate, just a tablespoon a day, or a bit of yogurt, and then marry that up with some of these as well at the same time, and you've ticked the boxes. So you're just creating the right environment for both of the bacteria to colonize and grow.
And just to chat a little bit about the PB Assist, which is the probiotic supplement that you can take. It's a really good quality one that has over 6 billion strains of active probiotic cultures. It's quite sort of, well, you can see on the picture the actual how it looks, but it's in this really special casing, sort of triple cased, so that it can make its way to your gut and not be sort of digested before it gets there. So it gets to where it needs to get in your body in order to perform well.
The stomach contains a lot of acid, so the stomach acid will destroy a lot of supplements before it even gets there. So that's fine, because you need them in your small intestine and your large intestine, which are after your stomach. That's why if it's killed in your stomach, it's no good. So that's why those coatings are brilliant for that purpose.
All right. Just to highlight about the LLV, the supplements, in that you can purchase these and give them a try for 30 days. And if you feel that you didn't get what the promise is, you can return them and receive your money back. So it's well worth thinking about just giving them a try if you feel that you want that sort of extra supplement in your diet, to be the sort of your foundation for your health. Give them a try, because if you don't like them, if you find that they don't if you are not having the experience that they are promising in the quality of the supplements, then you can send them back and they will refund you the full amount. So just worth bearing in mind.
I'm just reiterating what I said earlier. So if you think you need supplements, then always look at the bigger picture. One thing I advise with clients is to write down a food symptom diary over 3 days. So everything you eat and drink, and take everything in your mouth, so supplements, drugs, anything, and then write down your symptoms, so how you're feeling on a scale of 1 to 10, and have a look for any relationships between what you're eating and symptoms you may have. If you're taking supplements, avoid tea and coffee with them, because most of the time, not always, but the chances are they'll disrupt the absorption, and it's best to take tea and coffee away from meals anyway, and check what they're best absorbed with. So vitamin D, E and A are all fat soluble, whereas vitamin C and the Bs are all water soluble. So it's always good to just ask these questions before you buy them. And this is just going back to if you've got any other symptoms that you've had for a while and you can't get to the bottom of, or if you have a condition that you're struggling with and you might need some help, or you just want some ideas about how to eat more healthy and get more optimal food into the way you eat and you meet your eating plan, then let me know. I can help you. I'm launching a 30-day clean eating program coming up soon that can overhaul the way you eat at the moment and help you restore your health and help you feel like your best self. So if you're interested, put your email address in the chat and I'll send you a free weekly meal planner.
All right, that completes your supplement and nutrition chat. Do you have questions for us? Meanwhile, I'm going to write everyone's names down that's on live. Thank you for joining us. So I have a prize draw today, and woohoo! The prize. So I'm going to just quickly sort that out. But please, if you have questions, especially with the guru that's here, if you have anything that you want to share, anything that if it's for you or somebody in your family, then please take advantage and ask some questions.
Are the supplements you talked about, I take the phytoestrogen one, is it? I've just started on that. Are these ones okay in combination with that, or would that be an issue? Do you want me to find the pot? You know, it's the women's one with.
Yeah, I just don't think that Bernie would probably. Yeah, it's something that she's not familiar with that supplement range. Yes. So we'll get back to you.
Get back to me later.
Yes, there's sort of supplements that are for the
Okay, and then it's combined with these, is it? Some of these?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can check. I can do a bit of research and have a look.
Rebecca.
I have a question. It could be for both. So we started a couple of weeks ago this low sugar, kind of cutting out low sugar. Gemma, a bit like what you were saying about, because I'm so used to, years of conditioning of low fat, all that kind of food. Yeah. So we're trying to. It's very different now. This low sugar. So really going on all the olive oil and the nuts and the fish. so I get that. I think it was good for the first 2 weeks, but yeah, I mean, some of you on here will know Pat. He seems to be benefiting from it loads more than I am, which is
Right.
kind of annoying.
Why
But
are you finding it hard?
yeah, but I'm wondering, maybe I'm missing a trick on, I'm not taking any vitamins with it. And I guess the portion sizes probably might need to be adjusted then as well, maybe.
Why? So how are you? Do you feel that you're hungry?
Yeah, I suppose I'm doing lots of exercise then as well. And I think I think and maybe I'm drinking a lot of tea and coffee and stuff as well, which I probably need to.
Yeah.
I saw your thing about the tea and coffee there. Yeah.
I mean, I'd just have a little think about, look at, you know, what time of the day that you eat, you know, have a little think about, so what do you do first thing in the morning? What's your routine? When do you eat? Do you exercise before you eat? Are you getting enough protein with each meal? Because you really need to have protein with every meal, including breakfast, to make sure you're full, you stay full. And it's really important to have protein, so you can have like eggs and spinach, a really quick scrambled or a poached egg on spinach, or some, if you usually have a smoothie, bung in some protein powder, or have some nuts. And if you're feeling peckish, have you know, a bit of cheese and some carrot sticks or hummus, and try and get in as much veggies as you can across the day as well. But I would say, I would just have a little look at when you're eating, and are you eating regularly enough? And if you're feeling hungry mid-morning, what are you having for breakfast? Making sure that you're getting enough sustained carbohydrate that will last you all the way through, and you're not.
Yeah, I think I don't think I'm eating enough carbohydrates. I think I've gone from almost one extreme to the other, you know, from the stereotypical potato bread to cutting that out totally. So yeah. I think I have to stop bringing maybe that everything in moderation type of thing, rather than just taking out the carbs.
It depends what you're replacing it with. If you're replacing it with nothing, then definitely you will be hungry. If you can replace it with more vegetables, that would be advisable, because I mean, vegetables are carbohydrates. They give you energy, and you do need your rice and your pasta. But if you want that, go for brown rice. Or brown pasta, or rather than wheat-based rice, wheat-based pasta, go for like a lentil, or you can get pastas now made with buckwheat, or you can have quinoa. That's so just try and change what you're having. And if you feel that you're missing your potatoes and your white bread, then you can have a grain or a pseudo grain like buckwheat, quinoa, to replace that will fill you up a lot more effectively.
Okay, no, thanks for that. Yeah.
And try to get 2 litres of water in each day as well, because you might be thirsty, you might not be hungry.
Thank you.
Do we have any more questions? No? Okay, I'm going to do the prize draw. So thank you for coming. You will receive a beautiful bottle of grapefruit, which is a really good oil to put in your water. To take 1 drop in a nice glass really helps flush toxins out of the body, and it's really lovely to put on topically to uplift you and to diffuse. It's an all-rounder. So for everyone that came live, if you want to pick a name for Jai, what is the name? And it's Helen. Oh! All right, so next week we are all on toxic-free living, so I hope you can join. They have to unmute.
Can you not unmute them then?
No.
Oh, that's only mute. Oh.
That's mute all.
Okay.
Sorry. If you want to unmute to say anything, but thank you so much for coming to join us this morning. It's really nice to have so many of you live joining us. I'll also be sending out a recording of this and any sort of references that we may have mentioned, so you'll still have a follow-up email and with Bernie's contact details on there if you want to reach out to her in your own time. All right, I'm just going to...
No, thank you. It was really great.